the quiet depths of our minds, where the storms of emotion rages and the ego whispers temptations, there is an innermost sanctuary of stillness. It is the realm of a Stoic, a practical way of life in which self-mastery becomes not merely an ideal, but daily practice. Stoicism is not a philosophy of suppression, but of transcendence. It is the art of discerning what is within our control and what is not, and then acting with virtue, courage, and wisdom. Today we're going to explore 20 things a Stoic keeps private, not out of fear or shame, but out of respect for the power of silence, the strength of restraint, and the pursuit of inner peace. Number 1. Your personal struggles. Marcus Aurelius, the great philosopher king, once wrote, "How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself?" His words serve as a timeless call to arms, a reminder that your struggles are not merely obstacles, but the very crucible in which your character is forged. The weight you bear, the silent battles you fight, and the moments of solitude in which you wrestle with your own doubts are not signs of weakness, but the foundation of your inner strength. Do not seek validation through the sympathy of others, nor cast your burdens before the world in search of fleeting pity. True resilience is cultivated in the unseen hours, in the quiet resolve that stiffens your spine and steadies your heart. It is in the face of adversity that you refine your will, temper your mind, and emerge stronger than before. Let your struggles shape you, but never let them define you. Rise, not because the world is watching, but because you owe it to yourself to become the best version of who you are destined to be. Number 2. Your aspirations. Let men see, let them know a real man, who lives as he was meant to live. These words echo the essence of purpose, the idea that life is not meant to be lived in the shadows of fear or hesitation, but in the relentless pursuit of what calls to your soul. Your dreams are not mere wishes. They are the seeds of your future, fragile yet potent, containing within them the potential to shape the course of your destiny. Guard them as a warrior guards his most prized possession, for not all who hear of your ambitions will wish to see them flourish. There will be those who scoff, those who doubt, and those who, bound by their own limitations, will seek to impose the same upon you. Do not let them. Instead, nurture your vision in silence. Work tirelessly in the dark, and let your success be the thunderous roar that speaks for you when the time is right. Greatness is not for the faint of heart. It is for those who dare to dream beyond the boundaries imposed upon them, for those who refuse to surrender to the mediocrity of the world around them. Live boldly, pursue fearlessly, and let your existence be a testament to the power of unwavering determination. For in the end, a life spent in pursuit of one's highest potential is a life well lived. Number 3. Your acts of generosity. True generosity is an offering of the heart, an extension of one's humanity, given freely and without expectation. The noblest acts of kindness are those that remain unseen, those given without the need for recognition or applause. As Seneca wisely observed, he suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary. In the same way, generosity is diminished when it is done for the sake of appearances, rather than from a place of genuine compassion. Give not because you wish to be known as generous, but because it is within your power to lighten the burdens of another. The greatest kindness is often the quietest, the helping hand extended without witness, the words of encouragement spoken when no one else listens, the sacrifice made without a claim for gratitude. Let your actions speak louder than your words, for true benevolence needs no proclamation. Do not tally your good deeds, nor expect reciprocation, for the moment generosity becomes a transaction, its purity is lost. Instead, give as the sun gives its light, freely, abundantly, and without discrimination. A heart that gives selflessly will never be impoverished, for in lifting others we too are lifted. The rewards of kindness are not found in public praise, but in the quiet fulfillment of knowing you have made the world, even in some small way, a better place. Number 4. Your search for knowledge. Self-scrutiny applied with kindness is the cleansing and polishing of your soul. The pursuit of wisdom is not a pursuit of status, nor should it be a display for others to admire. It is an intimate journey, one that begins in the depths of your own mind and unfolds in the quiet spaces where contemplation thrives. The greatest minds in history did not seek knowledge for the approval of others, but rather to sharpen their understanding, to refine their character, and to navigate the world with clarity and purpose. Let your hunger for learning be an unquenchable fire, one that burns even when no one else sees it. Read, not to impress, but to illuminate your path. Study, not to boast of what you know, but to recognize how much remains unknown. Seek wisdom, not from a place of arrogance, but with the humility of one who understands that knowledge is infinite and mastery is an ever-distant horizon. Do not waste your energy debating with those who refuse to listen, nor squander your insights on those who do not value them. Instead, surround yourself with those who share your thirst for understanding, those who challenge you to think deeper, and those who inspire you to keep learning. The mind is a garden. Tend to it with care, nourish it with curiosity, and protect it from the weeds of ignorance. For in the end, knowledge is not about how much you have acquired, but how it has shaped you. Wisdom is not found in how much you speak, but in how deeply you understand. Keep learning, keep questioning, and let your pursuit of knowledge be a silent force that elevates your life. Number 5, your deepest thoughts. Follow where reason leads, said Seneca, reminding us that our thoughts are the foundation of who we are. The mind is a sanctuary, a place where raw ideas take form, where reason and intuition wrestle for clarity, and where the essence of our true selves is shaped. Your deepest thoughts are not meant to be laid bare for the world to scrutinize, for they are the unrefined materials of your authentic self, delicate in their infancy, powerful when fully realized. Keep them guarded, nurture them in solitude, and allow them to evolve before setting them free. In a world that rewards impulsive expression, there is strength in quiet contemplation. Do not feel the need to share every fleeting idea, nor seek validation for the thoughts that stir within you. Instead, let them mature in the silence of your own mind, tempered by reflection and sharpened by reason. Share your insights not out of a desire for approval, but when they are refined enough to offer true value. Speak only when your words carry weight, when they uplift, challenge, or illuminate. Let your wisdom be like a well-tended fire, burning steadily within, warming those who draw near but never set loose to destroy. For the most powerful minds are those that do not waste their thoughts on idle ears, but instead build worlds from the strength of their reasoned silence. Number 6, your reactions to adversity. Epictetus taught, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Life is unpredictable, a series of trials that will test your patience, your resilience, and your will. Adversity will come, not once, but many times, in forms both expected and unforeseen. Yet it is not hardship itself that defines you, but the way you choose to meet it. Let your struggles be yours alone. Do not give the world the satisfaction of witnessing your despair, nor let your pain be paraded for attention. When you stumble, do so in silence. When you fall, rise with quiet determination. Your strength lies not in how loudly you declare your suffering, but in how steadily you endure it. Control your reactions, for they are the only true power you possess in moments of chaos. Do not waste energy lamenting what is beyond your control. Instead, turn inward, assess the situation with a calm mind, and act with precision. Meet hardship not with complaint but with unwavering resolve. Let your response be measured, your actions deliberate, and your endurance unshakable. A wise man does not allow misfortune to dictate his spirit. He absorbs the blow, learns from it, and continues forward with greater wisdom than before. In the end, your legacy will not be written by the obstacles you faced, but by the silent strength with which you overcame them. Number 7, your moments of vulnerability. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. These words from Marcus Aurelius remind us that true strength is not found in mere discussion, but in action. Yet before one can become strong, one must first acknowledge and confront their vulnerabilities. Growth is not born from ease. It emerges through struggle, through those quiet moments of doubt, pain, and uncertainty. Vulnerability is not a weakness. It is the foundation upon which resilience is built. It is in your moments of fear that you learn courage, in your failures that you cultivate wisdom, and in your struggles that you refine your strength. However, these moments are not for the world to see, nor for the unworthy to judge. They are deeply personal, the stepping stones of your evolution, meant to be faced in solitude and overcome with quiet determination. Do not mistake the modern world's demand for openness as an obligation to expose your struggles. Not everyone who listens cares, and not everyone who cares understands. Some will use your weaknesses against you, while others will pity you without truly seeing your strength. Instead, let your vulnerabilities be lessons you learn in private, shaping you into someone who no longer stumbles over the same stones. A man does not become strong by announcing his battles. He becomes strong by fighting them. Face your hardships with silent perseverance and let your transformation speak for itself. The world does not need to know the depths of your struggles. It need only see the greatness of the man who emerges from them. Number 8, your major life decisions. Each person's life is their own journey. No one gets the same lessons at the same time. No two paths are alike. No two souls are shaped by the same trials. And no two minds see the world in the same way. That is why the most significant decisions in your life should not be placed in the hands of others. The world is full of voices, some well-intentioned, some filled with doubt, and others eager to impose their own fears upon you. But in the end, the path you walk is yours alone. Seek counsel where necessary, but do not let the noise of the crowd drown out the wisdom of your own intuition. Before you ask the world for answers, consult yourself. No one knows your heart as you do. No one feels the weight of your dreams as you do. And no one will bear the consequences of your choices but you. Major life decisions should be made with clarity, not under the influence of fleeting emotions or external pressures. Sit with your thoughts. Contemplate in silence. Weigh the cost, anticipate the challenges, and trust in your ability to navigate them. When the time comes to act, do so with confidence. Not because others have approved, but because you have chosen with conviction. A man who follows the crowd will live a life dictated by others. A man who trusts himself will carve a path uniquely his own. Choose wisely and walk forward without looking back. The road ahead belongs to you and you alone. Number 9, your expression of grief. Grief is a deeply personal and transformative journey, a path that only you can walk in your own way and at your own pace. It is not a weakness to feel the weight of loss. Rather, it is a testament to the depth of your love, your humanity, and your capacity to care. Healing from grief is not a linear process, but a series of ebbs and flows, moments of strength intertwined with waves of sorrow. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." This reminder urges you to focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, your emotions, and the way you allow yourself to heal. The world may not always understand the depth of your pain, and that is okay. Some wounds are meant to be nursed in solitude, away from the noise of external opinions and expectations. Protect your healing process like a fragile seedling, giving it the time, space, and nourishment it needs to grow. Let your grief be a quiet sanctuary, a sacred space where you allow yourself to feel, to reflect, and eventually to find peace. Over time, your wounds will transform into scars, not as signs of weakness, but as symbols of endurance, strength, and the love that once was and always will be. Number 10, your moments of joy. Joy is not merely the absence of sorrow. It is the soul's unfiltered expression of light, a profound and sacred experience that flows from within. It is in the quiet moments of appreciation, in the laughter shared with kindred spirits, in the simple pleasures that make life meaningful. True joy does not need validation or recognition from the world. It exists in the purest form when it is embraced privately, when it is felt rather than performed. Your joy is yours alone, a treasure that should be guarded and shared only with those who honor your spirit and appreciate the essence of who you are. Not everyone will understand the things that make your soul dance, and they do not need to. Let your joy be a whispered prayer to the universe, a quiet hum in the depths of your being, a radiant glow that needs no explanation. Like a candle in the dark, your joy does not have to be seen by all to be real. It exists in the way your heart swells at the beauty of a sunset, in the way music moves you to tears, in the way you find meaning in the seemingly insignificant moments. The most profound joys in life are not always the loudest. They are the ones that touch your soul and remind you of the beauty of simply being. Number 11, your moments of disappointment. Disappointment is an inevitable part of life, yet it is also one of the most profound teachers we encounter. It is in these moments, when our expectations are unmet and our plans falter, that we are given a rare opportunity to reflect, recalibrate, and grow. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher and Roman emperor, once said, Look back over the past with its changing empires that rose and fell, and you can foresee the future too. His words remind us that disappointment is not an isolated event, but part of a larger, ever-unfolding narrative. Empires rise and crumble, relationships flourish and fade, and dreams are realized or abandoned. Yet through it all, there is a thread of continuity, a lesson to be learned. When disappointment strikes, it is easy to feel as though the world is against you. But consider this: disappointment is not a punishment, it is a mirror. It reflects where you placed your hopes, what you valued, and perhaps where you misaligned your efforts. It is a private moment, one that does not need to be shared with the world, but rather one to be examined in the quiet of your own mind. What can you learn from this experience? How can you adjust your expectations or strengthen your resolve? Disappointment, when embraced with humility and curiosity, becomes a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. It is a chance to refine your character, to cultivate resilience, and to prepare yourself for the challenges that lie ahead. Number 12. Your experiences of pain. Pain, whether physical, emotional, or spiritual, is often seen as an enemy, a force to be avoided at all costs. Yet the Stoics viewed pain differently. They saw it as a necessary and even valuable part of the human experience, a tool for shaping character and revealing inner strength. As the ancient Stoic teachings suggest, difficulties show a person's true character. So when trouble comes, think of yourself as a wrestler whom God, like a trainer, has paired with a tough young buck. Why? So that you may become an Olympic champion. This metaphor is powerful. Imagine yourself as an athlete in training, not for a fleeting competition, but for the ultimate test of your abilities. Your pain is not random or meaningless. It is the sparring partner that pushes you to your limits, forcing you to dig deeper, fight harder, and emerge stronger. The trainer, whether you see it as God, fate, or the universe, knows your potential and challenges you accordingly. The pain you endure is not meant to break you but to build you. Yet this process is deeply personal. Your pain is yours alone, and how you choose to bear it is a private matter. There is no need to broadcast your struggles to the world, for true growth happens in the quiet moments of endurance. Your inner trainer, your conscience, your wisdom, your resilience, is the only audience that matters. It is in these moments of struggle that you discover who you truly are. Do you crumble under pressure, or do you rise to the occasion? Do you curse the pain, or do you find meaning in it? Pain, like disappointment, is a teacher. It strips away the superficial and reveals the core of your being. It teaches you patience, humility, and perseverance. It reminds you that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. And when you emerge on the other side, scarred but stronger, you will realize that the pain was not an obstacle but a crucible, a transformative experience that shaped you into the person you were meant to become. Number 13. Your awareness of the beauty of life. Life is a paradox, a delicate balance of beauty and fragility, joy and sorrow, creation and decay. To truly appreciate its depth, one must engage in private contemplation. These moments of solitude allow you to step back from the noise of the world and witness life in its purest form. The beauty of a sunrise, the quiet rustle of leaves in the wind, the fleeting smile of a stranger. These are the small miracles that often go unnoticed in the rush of daily life. Yet, when you take the time to observe and reflect, you begin to see the extraordinary in the ordinary. This awareness is not something that can be rushed or forced. It requires stillness, patience, and a willingness to be present. In these private moments, you come to understand that life's beauty is intertwined with its fragility. The same flower that blooms so brilliantly will one day wither, and the same sunset that paints the sky in hues of gold and crimson will fade into darkness. This duality is not something to fear but to embrace. It is a reminder to cherish the present, to find meaning in the ephemeral, and to cultivate gratitude for the fleeting moments that make life so profoundly beautiful. Private contemplation also allows you to connect with the deeper rhythms of existence. It is in these quiet spaces that you can hear the whispers of your own soul and feel the pulse of the universe. You begin to see yourself as part of something greater, a tapestry of life woven together by countless threads of experience, emotion, and connection. This awareness fills you with a sense of wonder and humility, grounding you in the present while opening your heart to the infinite possibilities of the future. Number 14. Your creative process. The act of creation is one of the most intimate and sacred journeys a person can undertake. It is a dialogue between the self and the unknown, a dance between inspiration and effort, vision and execution. Whether you are writing a poem, painting a canvas, composing music, or building a business, the creative process is a deeply personal endeavor. It is not something to be shared prematurely or exposed to the scrutiny of others. Instead, it must be nurtured in the quiet sanctuary of your own mind and heart. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." These words capture the essence of the creative journey. Before you can bring something into the world, you must first define it within yourself. What is your vision? What is your purpose? What do you hope to express or achieve? These questions are not answered in the noise of external validation, but in the silence of self-reflection. The creative process is often messy and non-linear. It is filled with moments of doubt, frustration, and uncertainty. Yet it is also infused with flashes of insight, joy, and fulfillment. These highs and lows are part of the journey, and they are meant to be experienced privately. When you share your work too soon, you risk diluting its essence or allowing the opinions of others to overshadow your own intuition. Creativity thrives in the space between vulnerability and discipline, between freedom and structure. It is a delicate balance that requires trust in yourself, in your vision, and in the process itself. Keeping your creative process private also allows you to protect its sanctity. It is a sacred act, a way of bringing something new into the world that did not exist before. This act of creation is not just about the final product, but about the transformation that occurs within you along the way. It is a journey of self-discovery, a way of exploring the depths of your own soul and expressing what you find there. When you finally share your creation with the world, it should be because you are ready, because the work has reached a point where it can stand on its own, independent of your ego or the need for approval. Until then, let your creative process remain a private sanctuary, a space where you can experiment, fail, and grow without fear of judgment. This is where true artistry is born, in the quiet communion between your soul and your art. Number 15, your spiritual practices. Spirituality is one of the most intimate and profound aspects of human existence. It is a journey that transcends the physical world, connecting you to something greater. Whether you call it the divine, the universe, or your higher self. This connection is deeply personal, a private communion that cannot be fully articulated or shared with others. It is in these moments of spiritual practice, whether through prayer, meditation, ritual, or contemplation, that you touch the essence of who you are and align yourself with the deeper currents of life. Keeping your spiritual practices sacred and secret is not about hiding them out of shame or fear, but about protecting their purity and power. When you share these practices too openly, you risk diluting their meaning or allowing external influences to distort your connection. Spirituality is not a performance. It is a dialogue between you and the infinite. It is a wellspring of inner peace, a source of strength and clarity that sustains you through life's challenges. In the quiet of your spiritual practice, you confront the questions that matter most. Who am I? What is my purpose? What do I believe in? These are not questions that can be answered by others or through external validation. They require introspection, honesty, and a willingness to sit with uncertainty. Your spiritual practice is the space where you wrestle with these questions, where you seek guidance and where you find moments of transcendence. This private communion is also where you cultivate gratitude, compassion, and forgiveness. It is where you release the burdens of the past and open yourself to the possibilities of the present. By keeping your spiritual practices sacred, you honor their transformative power and ensure that they remain a source of renewal and inspiration. Let your spirituality be a sanctuary, a place where you can retreat from the noise of the world and reconnect with what truly matters. Number 16, your fears and insecurities. Fears and insecurities are universal, yet they are also deeply personal. They are the shadows that lurk in the corners of our minds, whispering doubts and magnifying our vulnerabilities. While it is natural to want to share these feelings with others, there is wisdom in keeping them private. Not out of shame, but out of respect for their complexity and the work required to address them. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once observed, "We are often more frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." His words remind us that many of our fears are not rooted in actual danger, but in the stories we tell ourselves. The mind has a remarkable ability to conjure worst-case scenarios, to amplify small uncertainties into overwhelming anxieties. By keeping your fears private, you create the space to examine them honestly, to separate fact from fiction, and to confront them with clarity and courage. Sharing your fears and insecurities too openly can invite judgment, misunderstanding, or even exploitation. Not everyone is equipped to hold space for your vulnerabilities, and not everyone has your best interests at heart. By treating your fears as private matters, you protect yourself from unnecessary harm and ensure that you address them on your own terms. This does not mean you should never seek support or guidance. There is great strength in reaching out to trusted confidants, mentors, or professionals who can offer perspective and encouragement. However, the initial work of understanding and confronting your fears must come from within. It is a process of self-discovery, a journey into the depths of your own psyche where you can uncover the roots of your anxieties and begin to heal them. In this private space, you can also reframe your fears as opportunities for growth. What do they reveal about your values, your desires, or your boundaries? How can you use them to become more resilient, more compassionate, or more self-aware? By treating your fears as teachers rather than enemies, you transform them from sources of suffering into catalysts for transformation. Number 17, your inner dialogues. Your inner voice is your truest companion, a constant presence that guides, questions, and reflects your deepest thoughts and desires. These inner dialogues are the conversations that shape your character, your decisions, and your understanding of the world. They are the quiet debates, the moments of self-reassurance, and the occasional self-reproach that occur in the privacy of your mind. To share these dialogues too openly is to risk losing their authenticity and power. They are meant for you alone, a sacred space where you can be completely honest with yourself. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, encouraged us to engage in these inner dialogues with intention and clarity. He suggested a process of self-examination, a kind of mental cleansing where you wash away the impurities of doubt, fear, and distraction. Come, let's get you washed off. Let us get you cleaned up, he might say. This metaphorical washing is not about erasing your flaws, but about confronting them honestly and striving to align your actions with your values. Your inner dialogues are where you wrestle with the big questions. Who am I? What do I stand for? Am I living in accordance with my principles? These are not questions that can be answered by others or through external validation. They require introspection, courage, and a willingness to sit with discomfort. By keeping these conversations private, you protect their sanctity and ensure that they remain a source of growth and self-discovery. In these moments of private reflection, you also have the opportunity to challenge yourself. Are you planning to achieve great things but failing to take the necessary steps? Are you holding yourself to the standards you claim to value? As Epictetus might ask, for can it be that you are busily planning to turn what you want to be, yet in fact have sort of kept it private or set it aside, and yet didn't bother to consult the experts? The experts here are not external authorities, but your own wisdom, your own inner guide. Trust this voice, for it knows your true potential and will lead you toward becoming the best version of yourself. Number 18, your feelings of envy. Envy is a natural but toxic emotion, a quiet poison that can erode your peace of mind and distort your perception of others. It arises when we compare ourselves to those who seem to have more success, more beauty, more talent, more love. Yet envy is not about the other person. It is about our own insecurities and unmet desires. To share these feelings too openly is to risk amplifying their power and inviting judgment or misunderstanding. Instead, envy should be kept private, a secret test that challenges us to grow. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic emperor, once said, "Look back over the past, and the future is yours too." His words remind us that envy is often rooted in a narrow focus on the present moment. When we look back at our own journey, we see how far we've come and how much we've achieved. When we look forward, we realize that the future is full of possibilities, and our potential is limitless. Envy then becomes not a source of suffering, but a catalyst for self-improvement. The key is to transmute envy into motivation. Instead of resenting someone else's success, ask yourself, what can I learn from them? How can I use their achievements as inspiration to better myself? By turning inward, you transform envy from a destructive force into a constructive one. It becomes a private challenge, a call to action that pushes you to work harder, dream bigger, and strive for excellence. This process requires honesty and self-compassion. Acknowledge your feelings of envy without judgment, but don't let them define you. Recognize that everyone's journey is different, and comparison is often meaningless. What matters is not how you measure up to others, but how you measure up to your own potential. Use envy as a mirror, reflecting the areas where you feel lacking, and then take steps to address those gaps. By keeping envy private, you also protect yourself from its corrosive effects. Envy thrives in the light of external validation and social comparison, but it withers in the quiet of introspection and self-reflection. When you confront it privately, you reclaim your power and redirect your energy toward positive growth. Number 19, your daily routine. There is a quiet power in the mundane, in the small, repetitive actions that make up your daily routine. These seemingly ordinary tasks, waking up at the same time, preparing your meals, exercising, working, and even resting, are the building blocks of a meaningful life. Your routine is your private rhythm, the steady drumbeat that propels you forward. Even when the world feels chaotic or uncertain, it is a testament to your discipline, your commitment, and your ability to find purpose in the everyday. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, once said, "Be not afraid of going slowly, be afraid only of standing still." His words remind us that progress is not always dramatic or visible. Often it is the small, consistent actions, the ones that go unnoticed by others, that lead to the most significant transformations. Your daily routine is where these actions take place. It is where you cultivate habits, develop skills, and build the foundation for long-term success and fulfillment. Yet there is a temptation to share the nuances of your routine with the world, to seek validation or admiration for your discipline. Resist this urge. Your routine is not a performance. It is a private practice, a sacred space where you connect with yourself and your goals. Exposing it to the world risks diluting its power or inviting unnecessary comparisons. Instead, let your routine be a quiet, personal rhythm that sustains you through life's ups and downs. In the privacy of your routine, you also find moments of reflection and gratitude. The act of brewing your morning coffee, the quiet walk before bed, the time set aside for reading or meditation. These are opportunities to pause, to breathe, and to appreciate the simple joys of life. They remind you that progress is not always about grand achievements, but about the steady, intentional steps you take each day. By keeping your routine private, you honor its significance and ensure that it remains a source of strength and stability. Number 20, your private acts of courtesy. Courtesy is a subtle act of grace, a quiet expression of respect and kindness that often goes unnoticed. It is the small gestures, holding the door for someone, offering a genuine compliment, listening with patience that reveal the quality of your character. Yet true courtesy is not performed for public praise or recognition. It is done for the sake of virtue, as a reflection of your inner values and your commitment to treating others with dignity and compassion. Epictetus, the Stoic philosopher, advised, "A man is known by the company his heart keeps." This statement speaks to the importance of integrity and authenticity in our actions. When you perform acts of courtesy in private, without expecting anything in return, you demonstrate a purity of intention that is rare and beautiful. These private acts are a testament to the kind of person you are when no one is watching, and they reveal the true content of your character. Private acts of courtesy also have a ripple effect. They create a sense of connection and goodwill even if the recipient is unaware of your intentions. A kind word, a thoughtful gesture, or a moment of patience can brighten someone's day, ease their burden, or inspire them to pay it forward. These small acts accumulate over time, shaping the culture of your relationships and communities in profound ways. Moreover, private courtesy is a form of self-respect. It reflects your commitment to living in alignment with your values, even when it is inconvenient or goes unnoticed. It is a reminder that kindness is not a transaction, but a way of being, a choice to see humanity in others and to act with empathy and grace. By keeping your acts of courtesy private, you protect their purity and ensure that they remain genuine expressions of your character. Let them be a quiet testament to the goodness within you, a reflection of the company your heart keeps. In a world that often values visibility and recognition, these private acts remind us of the power of humility, the importance of integrity, and the beauty of living with grace. In a world that thrives on noise, the Stoic finds power in silence. By keeping these 20 things private, we cultivate self-control, fortitude, and an unshakable sense of purpose. We are not defined by what we share, but by what we keep sacred. As we walk this path, let us remember the words of Marcus Aurelius. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Let us strive not for the applause of the crowd, but for the quiet satisfaction of a life well lived. Let us overcome destructive emotions not by denying them, but by mastering them. And let us find strength in the stillness, for it is there that we discover who we truly are. This is the way of the Stoic. This is the path to inner freedom.